Hi, how you doing? We're going to watch a video today, and this time it's a really interesting subject. I was sent this video by my secret researcher because we've been chatting quite a lot, amongst other things, about medieval scarf wrestling. And this was a video that I'd not seen before, and looking at the stats on it, I can see why. It's not got an awful lot of views, bear with me 1 second. 349 views, the channel's got 327 subscribers. The video is entitled Unknown Medieval Scarf Wrestling. And yeah, it's only 40 seconds long, but I have a feeling it's going to be quite interesting anyway, so let's dig straight in. Okay, this is quite nice. I'm really conflicted at this point because I think this is a really interesting subject, and maybe it's because I was kind of part of the HEMA community 20-30 years ago, but these types of videos that you occasionally get to see where people are looking at some unknown source material and they're trying to figure it out, they're trying to decipher it and draw out some little threads from it and bring it together into a coherent thing that actually works. I think that's a type of HEMA, that's part of the HEMA experience that I really love, and I think that's kind of missing today. It's all got very sanitized and samey, and people actually going out and doing something new and discovering something interesting and having unusual and different interpretations of stuff, I think is really rare. So this is quite exciting. I like it a lot. However, I'm not convinced that both of these people are necessarily particularly skilled grapplers or wrestlers. Possibly the guy with the blue scarf around his neck is. He seems to be leading it. But the guy with the white scarf, his training partner, probably not so much. We'll go back and we'll watch that again, but when we see this scarf being lifted and pushed across the face, much like a crossface, a technique I love, whether it's a kind of BJJ, arm behind the head, shoulder in the jaw type crossface, or whether it's like a wrestler's crossface with the cutting bone of your arm across someone's face to move them around. I love them all. I think they're fantastic, and that's effectively what this is, but using a scarf instead. But as he applies that and forces his opponent to turn, their right foot doesn't move, and so they obviously fall over. And if they had a good base and a better sense of balance, which you'd get from more time wrestling, then he's probably going to step and turn with that, and it's not necessarily going to be a throw, more of a way of breaking someone's posture, and I think it would at that point become a way of setting up a different throw, or possibly even a counter. I don't know. But my brain's kind of whirring now, and I'm really excited about the possibilities of this. But let's go back, watch it, watch the guy's posture, watch his feet, and you'll see what I mean about his wrestling background. See? That right foot doesn't move at all. As that comes up, he moves, he twists, and he falls. That's quite an interesting one, because we know we have this reference to wearing collars, going at each other like bulls, and that's kind of what we're seeing here. I'm not sure how authentic this is, because the scarves they're using seem somewhat longer than the image that they're showing us. They've got hold of those scarves down at kind of knee height, and the medieval source material that they're looking has got the scarves held fairly high, probably sort of low chest height, and that's definitely going to affect your leverage and your strength and your ability to move. That being said, no one else is doing this, so good on them. But this is really interesting, and you could see why you might, if you weren't hugely skilled in wrestling, look at this and think that it was just a question of strength rather than a question of skill or technique. Yeah, I'm liking this a lot. Okay, that's an interesting one. So he's, instead of holding onto the scarf, he's gone one arm around to get that hip throw. He's put a foot in between, he's lifting with the legs. I'm sure there's a very specific judo name for that. You know, in wrestling, it's just a variation on a cross-buttock throw. But I'm interested, I want to go back and watch it again because I want to see what he's done with the scarf. Has he passed it across so both hands are holding both ends of the scarf? Or has he effectively let go of the scarf to take the collar tie and the chancery to set up the throw? Let's go back and watch it. Okay, no, so clearly what we're seeing is a pre-set up technique at this point. He's already passed the scarf across so that both ends are in one hand and he's stepping in. But it does give you a nice idea for a throw, doesn't it? I mean, it's a perfectly valid technique. It's through his own scarf, which is quite interesting. And at this point, I'm left thinking two things. Firstly, that I'd really want to give this a try. This scarf wrestling thing seems really exciting. And I think there's a lot we could do with this. But also I'm thinking to myself, I bet I could do that with a lapel of a gi. You know, if you can loosen your opponent's gi enough, then you can get hold of that lapel and use it like a scarf. This might be a really handy thing to do for jiu-jitsu. Might have to give that a try. Anyway, let's get back to it and see what else there is in the video. I suspect not a huge amount more because we're over halfway through. Oh, I guess we've all seen the backbreaker technique where you come in from a reverse chancery and you turn and you pull them over the head, but to do it with the scarf, that's quite interesting. It's not the sort of technique that you'd want to be drilling at anything other than a really, really slow pace, but it does remind me of the story about Farmer Burns being beaten by, is it Ed Lewis, Ed the Strangler Lewis, and then deciding he was never going to get beaten like that again, so spent such a long time building up the muscles in his neck to the point where it was pretty much then impossible to strangle him if he tensed his neck, and his party piece was to literally hang himself from a proper noose and tense his neck so that it didn't do any damage at all. And I think that if you were going to be doing this on a regular basis, that's probably something you'd want to do. Feels a little bit dangerous, but, you know, good on him for working it through nice and slowly. Yeah, you can see from the fact that they're going really slowly and he's raising his hand to... Obviously he's not comfortable with that, and rightly so. You know, that's a really dangerous thing to be doing and practicing with what is essentially a silk garrote. But I'm really excited by this. I think this is a very interesting video. I'd love to know if these guys have done any more work along this line, or if anybody else has. So if you're connected to these guys, and I know I've got quite a few subscribers over in France, and this appears to be a French group. Let me know if you know these guys and if they're still doing this, and if you know of anyone else that's doing it. Again, yeah, let me know. I'd love to find out. Stick something in the comments, and yeah, subscribe. That'd be cool. And to those of you still here at the very end of the video, fight team.